Hi, I'm Angela Hampton. I'm a physician assistant at North South Carolina with Singleton Health Centers.
We're at the Singleton Health Center here in North South Carolina, and yes, real health professionals are talking with me, and I have Angela Hampton, who is a physician assistant. How are you doing today, Angela?
I'm well, thank you.
That's great. Ms. Hampton, it is wonderful to have you talking with us today because we want to find out something about being a physician's assistant. What school did you attend, and how long did it take you?
I attended Medical University in Charleston, South Carolina, and the program when I first attended was a BS program, and now it is going on to expand to a master's. So it's a little bit longer than what I took initially of about 27 months. Now it's almost about 3 years for the master's.
Okay, now you know when we talk about prerequisites, and I know that our viewers are young people, so they want to know all about what were some of the prerequisites that you would say that you needed for this profession?
Well, of course, for any science field, you want to make sure that you have a strong science background. So get into biology, microbiology, even a little bit of chemistry, and you do need some math also.
That's right, because by the time you got to the medical university, here you come up with organic and biochem and all those other things that you really need to bring it together. Exactly. Let's talk about your inspiration, because I know that you were inspired by something or something. What was your inspiration for becoming a physician assistant?
I really feel like this is just a profession I was meant to do. When everyone else was playing with dolls, I mean, I did have my dolls, but I always wanted a doctor set.
Wow.
And I was always doctoring on my dolls, so I just feel like medicine is the field that I needed to go into.
Well, you know, that brings me to a question. Why didn't you choose to be a physician as opposed to being a physician assistant? What made you be able to distinguish between the two?
Well, really, after I finished my BS at Oral Roberts University in Tulsa, Oklahoma, I majored in biochemistry there. And I spent some time in the industrial world working in various plants. And after that, I became what you would call an older student. I didn't go straight from college into my profession. And this was a late in life choice that I decided.
That's right. Well, then that brings me to late in life when you're talking about family life. Because one of the things that the young people are interested in, especially in the medical field, is how do you balance work and your profession?
Well, I have to admit, now sometimes it does get kind of hectic.
Yes.
But one thing with your mate, they have to be understanding. And the other thing that I would suggest is not to try to get everything done in one day. In other words, don't sweat the small stuff. And then don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it.
That's right. Now, one of the things that I know is important is we face a lot of challenges in our life. And so I wanted to find out what were some of those challenges that you faced during this journey to become a physician's assistant.
Well, as I said, I was an older student. This was my second career choice. So I was already married, and actually I found out after I was accepted into PA school, and I found out that I was pregnant. And we had been trying for years to have a baby, and of course when you stop, that's what happens. And so we were trying, so that was a big curve there. But God was good, and He kept me going up and down that road. I traveled to and from Charleston every day.
To North South Carolina?
To Orangeburg.
To Orangeburg, my goodness. Well, you see, it takes that dedication and determination. So when you are looking at being a part of going into the medical field or any health professional field, you have to be dedicated and you have to really want to do it. Is that how you feel?
You hit the nail on the head, Miss Tammy. You have to have perseverance, and you have to have that stick-to-itiveness, because when you go to college, there are some courses that we call weed out courses where they are actually trying to see if you really want this. And those courses are organic chemistry, as you mentioned, and some biology and calculus courses. So even if you don't do well the first time, go back, take it again, and be determined to get it, because you can, as long as you stick with it.
You know, one of the things, too, that I know young people are always worrying about and thinking about is the money. the financial means to be able to go to school, to be able to finish and become, whether you're a lab tech, whether you're a physician's assistant, a medical doctor, dentist, or whatever, but it's the finances. How do you hurdle that? And I know being, as you said, a second career choice, how did you hurdle that?
That was a difficult part, but there are monies that's out there, especially for minority students. So go ahead and look for the finances. Ask your guidance counselors. In this day and age of technology, get online, Google for financial aid.
And what were some of, for those that are listening, the test? What is the main test that you have to take to get into physician's assistant school? Currently,
there is no entrance exam for a PA, but you do have to apply. And then once you are accepted initially, then you go for a panel interview.
Okay. The last question I want to ask you is, what advice do you have for some of our young people that are listening to you right now and trying to make that decision of what they want to do in their lives?
I would say that the healthcare position and field is wide open. So go in and ask your guidance counselor again. Go online and Google careers, medical careers in medicine, and find out what fits your niche. I would also recommend for you to volunteer in a doctor's office, in the hospital. A lot of hospitals have shadowing programs that's available. So look into those opportunities also, because there's no job that's too small.
And then I know the last thing that you're thinking about, kids, is what's exciting about being a PA? What is exciting?
Well, for me, I'm actually in the office by myself most days of the week, and so I was able to basically set up the flow of how I wanted to do my job here. And so that is the most exciting thing, is the independence that I have with this school.
You know, Miss Angela, I want to thank you so much for being on the show. This is Real Talk with Health Professionals, and you've been talking with Miss Angela Hampton. That's who we've been speaking with, a PA right here in North South Carolina at the Singleton Family Health Center.
Singleton Health Center.
That's right.